Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to get swept away by a classic poem that just perfectly captures that raw power and, that thrilling joy you feel from nature. We're unpacking Anne Bronte's incredible Lines Composed in a Wood on a Windy Day. But before we dive in, let's just pause for a second. I want you to think about it. What does a really, really windy day feel like to you? That sound rushing past your ears, the way everything is moving, that electric feeling in the air? Well, that is the exact sensation we're going to explore today. It's the very thing that sparked this amazing poem. All right, so to really get this poem, you've got to understand the person behind it. Let's talk about the poet. So, Anne Brontë, she was the youngest of the three legendary Brontë sisters. We're talking about a family of absolute literary giants. And even though she had a tragically short life, her novels and poems are just packed with this deep, thoughtful style. What really stands out, though, is her profound connection to the natural world. It's a theme you see again and again in her work. This poem is just a classic example of what's called the Romantic literary movement. So what does that mean? Well, it was this period in literature where writers were all about celebrating super intense emotions, the power of the individual, and here's the big one, the totally awe-inspiring force of nature. For a lot of these writers, nature was this incredible escape, kind of a powerful antidote to the smoke and machinery of the industrial world that was popping up all around them. Okay, so with that context in mind, let's actually take a walk through the poem. We're going to go stanza by stanza and really see how Brontë builds this incredible, powerful feeling from the ground up. And wow, the poem just kicks off with this huge burst of energy. Right from the first line, we're not just watching the wind from a distance. Nope! We are feeling its effect deep inside the poet. Her spirit isn't just happy, it is literally soaring. So in this first stanza, the wind is acting like this powerful, almost spiritual force, It's described as roaring, which might sound scary, but it's not. It's the opposite. This roar awakens a feeling of rapture. We're talking pure, overwhelming joy. And it's not just her feeling it. This joy extends out to the whole world, to the earth and the seas. Okay, so as the poem moves on, Brontë shifts our focus a little. We move from that internal feeling out to the external world. And she paints this picture of a world that is just in frantic, beautiful motion. And I mean, everything comes alive here. The grass, even though it's withered, it seems to shine. The bare trees, they're not just getting pushed around by the wind, no, they're in a lively dance. And get this, even the dead leaves, things we'd normally see as lifeless, are merrily dancing. It's like the entire world is this living, breathing thing, completely animated by the wind. All right, now we get to the final stanza, and there's a big shift here. What she's seeing in the woods suddenly triggers this powerful, deep longing for something even bigger, even grander. What she wants, what she's yearning for, is to be at the sea on a day just like this one. And listen to the powerful sensory words she uses. She doesn't just want to be there, she wants to see the proud waves dashing against the shore. And she wants to hear their wild roar, their thunder. It's like the wind in the woods was just an appetizer, and now she's craving the main course, the ultimate expression of nature's wild, untamed power. Okay, so how does she do that? How does Brontë create such a vivid and emotional effect? Well, it's like magic, but it's not. It's skill. Let's pull back the curtain and look at some of the tools in her poetic toolkit. All right, the number one tool in her kit, the one she uses all over this poem, is personification. It's a fancy word, but the idea is simple. It's when you give human qualities or actions to something that isn't human. And let me tell you, Brontë is an absolute master at this. I mean, the poem is just packed with it. The leaves aren't falling, they're merrily dancing. The branches aren't breaking, they're tossing. The waves aren't just waves, they're proud. And the wind doesn't just blow, it has a wild roar. See what she's doing? She's transforming this whole landscape from just a static, passive scene into this cast of active, joyful characters. But it's not just the words, it's the structure too. The whole poem has this really consistent A-B rhyme scheme. Now, why does that matter? Well, it creates this steady, flowing rhythm, almost like a song. It perfectly mimics that constant rolling motion of the wind she's describing. It literally makes the poem feel musical and alive when you read it. And the mood is just so energetic, so fast-paced, right? Brontë gets that effect by being super careful with her verbs. She picks these powerful dynamic action words. Think about it: soaring, dashing, tossing. These words aren't passive. They fill the poem with so much energy and make it so easy for us to picture this beautiful, chaotic storm in our minds. All right, so we've looked at the what and the how. We know what the poem says, and we've seen the techniques she uses to say it. But the big question is, so what? What's the deeper meaning here? What is Brontë really trying to tell us? Well, the biggest theme, the one right at the heart of it all, is without a doubt this incredibly deep, almost healing connection between us, the human spirit, and the natural world. This is so much more than just watching a storm from a window. The poet is having what one analysis calls an absolute fusion with nature. The wind isn't just an external thing. It's getting inside her. It's awakening her soul. It's a powerful reminder of how getting out in nature can light up all of our senses, sight, sound, feeling, and give us back energy we didn't even realize was gone. And this brings us full circle, right back to that romantic movement we talked about earlier. This poem is, through and through, a celebration of that romantic spirit. Because for the Romantics, nature wasn't just a bunch of pretty landscapes. No way. It was this powerful, wild, and totally freeing force. In fact, one analysis points out that the sea, the thing the poet is dreaming about, is seen as the great liberator. Think about that. It's a symbol of ultimate freedom, of raw, untamed power. Okay, let's bring it all home. This poem was written more than 170 years ago. So why are we still talking about it? Why does it still hit so hard today? I think it's because it taps into something totally universal. It's this timeless, powerful reminder that just stepping outside into the wildness of nature, it has the power to shake us out of our routine, to wake up our senses, and to plug us right back into a feeling of pure, electrifying joy. And so I'll leave you with a question to chew on. When was the last time you actually did that? When was the last time you just stopped and let the wildness of nature, whether it's a huge storm, the crash of the ocean, or even just a really windy day, when was the last time you let it truly awaken your soul? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.